Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Making 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Broke His Human Limiter. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was the Only of Death over an Anime King, and enjoy that guys. And over Anime Prince, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was an OP villain in My Hero Academia, so go ahead and enjoy that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, yes, I indeed have 4 channels guys that I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy, so go ahead and just destroy that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family guys. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Start the intro. So the last spot we left off, Team 7 was going towards the Land of Wave to back up Team 8. Team 8 got into a scuffle with Zabuza Mamakai after they decided to take the mission regardless of the client line about the status. They were going to help the people of Wave, however, Kurenai got injured. So they made their way back towards Land of Wave. As Naruto had done a lot in the past couple months. For one thing, him and Fox had a rather nice chat. Kurama was trying to literally squash Naruto. He wasn't sure if it was because of the seal preventing him from killing him, or if the kid was just that indestructible. As Naruto told him that he will be his friend otherwise, he's gonna tie up his tails. He never went through the threat though, he was just kidding. They arrived towards the Land of Wave. Arriving there, they made their way upstairs. Kurenai was much worse than they thought, as none of them had an expert ability in healing, so Naruto was gonna take her back. The others were confused. How could Naruto? However, they told him to just calm down, everything will be fine. Naruto picked Kurenai up as he ran straight to Konoha. When they arrived towards the river, she asked him what he was doing, if he didn't know to run on water, but he literally ran on the water. Without chakra, he just ran as fast as possible. Kurenai couldn't even hear what he was saying, everything was just so muffled. Asuma saw something blur past him. As he saw Kurenai clothing, he went towards the hospital, as Naruto informed Hokage about everything. With that, he made his way back towards the Land of Wave. As Naruto decided to help the people there, he went and got several animals from the nearby islands, as he brought them back and created his famous stew. Since recently he had gotten into the knack of cooking, and he had to say he really enjoyed it. The people there came out as they were rather happy. It's been a long time since they had their stomach this full, as the team members came out as well. Kiba was still confused. How the hell did Naruto get Kurenai back towards the village? That made no possible sense. Something was up. As for Naruto, he made his way back. The 2 envoys arrived and told Kakashi that Gato was dead, as Hiruzen had sent the envoys to get rid of the problem there. So all they had to worry about now was Zabuza Mamakai. However, Naruto decided to handle it himself. He searched the entire forest until he came across a giant tree. Inside he found the 2 of them. Haku and Zabuza were confused as Haku tried to stop him, but her needles were not working at all. Naruto showed them why them staying here would be a problem. He told them that Gato was dead, he wouldn't tell them how, and he also destroyed the entire place with a single punch. Meanwhile that was going on at the Hidden Stone, Kurosaki had almost confessed to her grandfather 10 times about the meetings with Naruto. However, each time she stopped herself. Her best friend Tsubaki and her sat down and talked. However, Tsubaki was acting rather strange. Regarding her as well, something was up that not even Kurosaki knew. However, Kurosaki was trying to tell herself that she was not doing something that bad, but she knew deep down it was incredibly bad what she was doing. After all, if her grandfather ever found out about this, and her father ever wanted to be so disappointed, she would look like a traitor to her home. And she couldn't allow that. She couldn't allow that to happen. She had to do something about this. A month passed. In that month, a lot of things happened. However, Naruto was not in a happy place. The reason being, when he head back towards the stone, Kurosaki left a letter telling him that she couldn't do this anymore, as Naruto was confused. He knew that being found in the village would be rather problematic not for him but for her as well. However, he felt heartbroken. Even the fox could feel his mood change inside of him. The kid never really had anyone growing up, so the one person that he come to attach himself to for the past couple of months turned him down like that, well, it affected him kind of badly. As for Kurosaki, the opportunity couldn't be worse as her grandfather was sending her and her team to Konoha with a few other teams. They were there to gather information and also find out more about this Naruto Uzumaki. Maybe Konoha had some kind of secret weapon, Unki, would like to know. However, this was bad, as she did not see Naruto. She told him in a letter, and now she felt eager and embarrassed at seeing him. She didn't know what to do. As for Naruto, when he was not happy, well, it was showing. As Sakura and the others noticed that, for the past week he has been in a mood. As Sakura saw him and she went after him, asked him if he was alright, but Naruto told her that he was fine. But she knew that he was lying about that. Something was wrong, but he was just not telling anyone. That is when they heard a cry, as Naruto came across Konohamaru. Konohamaru was the grandson of the third. As Naruto asked the guy in the cat suit what the hell he was doing. Temari wanted to stop this guy from attacking her brother. Seeing that she saw him raise his hand, she was about to knock him out, but her fan actually bent as she felt the vibrations in her arms. Gaara came down a moment later as he looked towards Naruto, who was not in a good mood, so he didn't want to hear anything, as Sasuke jumped down as well. As Naruto brushed off Gaara, however, people didn't normally do that, so he ended up lashing out in a violent way as he gripped on Naruto with his hand. As conflict started to spark between them, as Naruto told him to let him go. However, Gaara had this malicious grin on his face. This little punk think that he can just walk away from him like that. No one had ever had the balls to do that, and yet he think he can. Gaara was gonna make an example out of him, not knowing what kind of trouble he got himself in. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. If you guys gained, switch across the play, check it out for yourself. And what do you say we jump right into this new episode, guys? Begin now, guys. We begin this episode in an unknown location. However, this was definitely not the Elemental Nation. Nowhere close to where Naruto or the others were. This was somewhere far, far away. There was a woman. She seemed to be panicking. She had long, flowing white hair. She had crystal, clear eyes, similar to Byakugan, but they were all white, a bit on the crystallized side. She was running. Judging her small form, she was not that tall, around 5'6" or 5'5", and she was on the slim side. She seemed to be in her teens, perhaps 19, 18, maybe. But looks can be deceiving. However, despite all of that, her speed was unnatural. The woman ran with a brisk as she leaped. She flashed through a strange forest. This forest was unlike anything people in the Elemental Nation had ever seen before. The forest was filled with strange plants. Strange, gigantic plants that were as big as a two-story house. Animals moved out of the way as she ran. Looking behind her, she heard a voice. "You can't run forever." She grit her teeth as she increased her speed to her maximum. However, despite that, she was not fast enough. Something flew. It was like a yellow disc that flew right past her face and hit the ground. When it hit, it made a single beeping sound before it went off. The thing blew her back towards where she came from, rather violently. It was a good thing that she brought her arms up at the right moment. She crashed on the ground before she slowly started to pick herself up. That is when she saw the person in front of her. He raised his hand as he started to reach down towards her. However, something slammed him into one of the trees, breaking it down. It was a person. A man. He turned towards her. "Run!" he yelled. I can't just... I said run! He yelled to her. She got up as she was about to run until she heard a gurgling sound. The man that just saved her had a red blade sticking through his chest that was made of a strange type of chakra. He looked down to his chest. You bastard, he said as he coughed up blood. Your death was inevitable, the chaser said to him as he started to push his hand deeper with the spectral blade on it. The girl screamed no. The man looked back towards her as he gave her a smile. No, don't do this, she yelled. Run. Don't let them catch you. He raised his hand. She was immediately surrounded by a white bubble. The chaser raised his hand, however. The bubble pushed her away. The last thing she saw was her savior smile, before his body started to go white. The one that was chasing him looked towards him curiously before the man smirked. Boom! A colossal explosion swallowed everything in the near vicinity. The girl was long shot away in the strange bubble that she was in. A few seconds later, coughing could be heard. The man that was chasing him was surrounded by yellow glow. However, he was unharmed. The body parts of the one that sacrificed himself was now laying on the ground. Pathetic. The man turned his gaze to where the woman rushed off to, as he then growled and looked down and stomped the ground. Teleportation, he frowned to himself. You will not hide forever, he said. Back on the Elemental Nation, as that event was happening, Hiruzen Sarutobi really feared Naruto, in a sense. Yes, most might not say fear but just caution, but he feared him. But why? Despite the power that Naruto possessed, Naruto was happy. He was always smiling, always giddy, always ready to do the right thing. So why would the Hokage fear someone like that? After all, his strength would be a beneficial thing for the village, not something to harm it, right? So why would Hiruzen fear him? Every ninja had their quirk. Despite Guy acting that way, it was a kind of quirk that kept him stable on reality. When handling with these kind of jobs, doing the things that they did, everyone had to have their gimmicks or something that set them apart, to keep the mental stress of ending people's life, knowing that one day you might get killed. Yeah, those things were kind of difficult to handle, so people had their quirks. However, the ones that did not release their emotions end up snapping sooner or later. And when some people snap, it was bad. Some went missing and some went to harm people, some went to enjoy chaos for the fun of it. However, there was people like Naruto who had trained himself into becoming a, how should we say, monster. That was the only way to describe it. Naruto had no idea what he was capable of. He rant and talk about using 80% or talk about using 100%. However, as Kurama was sitting in his mindscape, none of that was real. The kid had no idea what he was talking about. There was a mental block that kept him from accessing everything. However, Kurama looked towards the thing in front of him. He wasn't entirely sure what it was. It may be some kind of entity. However, it was formed from his chakra and something else. Something much darker. He watched as the thing formed outside of the cage. It started to twist and pull together. It was human, well, the shape of it was. However, the more it formed, the more Kurama felt it as he looked to the sky. The pitch black that was always there started to crack, which made no sense. Outside in the real world, Naruto was already not having a good day. And yet this guy came here right now and further pissed him off. Naruto knew that he was strong, but for the safety of others, he always held himself back. He always put up with things that he didn't really have to. This no-name individual from another village decided to lay his sand on him. He knew that he was powerful enough to not be touched by anyone, especially when he did not feel to be touched by anyone, and yet this person believed that he can control him. Just like those people back then, always whispering, always talking, always acting like he never existed. Yet what did he always do? He always chose to just block it out. He always just ignore it, forcing himself into training night after night, feeling lonely on his birthdays. No one, but himself to talk to. Yes, the Hokage was there, but was he at his home? Was he with him on those sleepless nights when he dreamed about having parents and waking up next morning to find out that it was a goddamn dream? Everyone always trying to control him. Why did this universe see it fit to make sure that he didn't have anyone? And know the person that he started to actually like recently told him that they couldn't be friends anymore. That she didn't want to see him again. He didn't know what he do. He didn't know what he did wrong. And he couldn't see her to explain that because he didn't want to get anyone in trouble. But what's the point? Everything just always go bad for him, right? What's the point of being so strong if your life is a literal shithole? As Naruto was talking to himself, his mind clouded by many things. However, he was unaware of what was happening. As Gaara started to narrow his eyes in fear. Yes, fear. Temari's body was shaking uncontrollably. She did not understand what this was. Kankuro started to back away as he tripped over and fell. Sakura could barely breathe as she was staggering away from Naruto. Sasuke had to back up against the wall. He felt killer intent, he felt bloodlust before, but this, he wasn't sure what this was. As Naruto's eyes snapped up towards Gaara, he seemed out of focus. As the sand was ripped off him, confusing Gaara. Naruto moved with such a speed that Gaara's sand wasn't able to come up in time as he gripped him by the shirt. I told you, I didn't have time for this and yet, you still push me. Naruto twirled as he launched Gaara. The speed threw him like a bomb. The two trees that were near the alley side were exploded into splinters. The entire fence was blown to pieces as Gaara's body was thrown. He slammed roughly into a gigantic wall. Lucky enough his sanity came out and protected him from hitting that hard. Gaara picked himself up. That is when he noticed his entire body told him to move. The sand actually yanked him out of there as he landed on top of the monument. Someone crashed where he once was. Naruto's unfocused eyes looked up to where Gaara was before he bent his knees and jumped. As he landed right on top of the monument, Gaara's eyes narrowed. What are you? He said. Someone who wanted to be left alone, but you had to go and push me, said Naruto. Well, if you want to fight, I'm not above ripping you to pieces, mother. Will enjoy your blood, said Gaara. Bloodlust and killer intent exploded from the right head as the top of the monument started to crack. As Naruto dropped to the side a bit, his body swaying. In the mindscape, the entity, whatever it was, still was forming. Kurama could see its legs, its torso, its body being hazy. Dark, decrepit laughter started to sound out from everywhere. Kurama said nothing as he watched his thing envelop and unfold right in front of his cage. Back in the outside world, you're probably right, said Naruto, tearing someone apart, to show the others that you're not someone to be trifled with anymore. It should be fun. Naruto's hands flexed as the ground underneath him started bent. However, envoys, at least 20 in total, flashed towards the scene, followed by Hiruzen. Naruto! Naruto's head snapped up, his eyes returning back to focus. As envoys were surrounding Gaara blades, ready to strike him down, Hiruzen was in front of Naruto. Calm down, he said. As Naruto looked up towards the old man, he shook his head before looking around. Another person appeared. The half of his face was covered by a white cloth. As he went to talk to the Hokage who had an eye on Naruto the entire time. Fine, just get him out of here, Hiruzen said. As Baki took Gaara, reluctantly, who nodded after seeing that their fight would be interrupted. However, his eyes was on the blonde. Naruto, what happened? I just want to be left alone, said Naruto. I don't know what that guy's problem was, but it wasn't my fault. Naruto, talk to me. What? I'm tired, JJ, said Naruto. I just need some rest, alright? Can I just be alone, Naruto asked. Alright. Why don't you go on home and get some rest, Hiruzen said. Thanks, said Naruto as he walked away. As he jumped off the monument, Hiruzen walked over to the edge as he watched Naruto land. The feeling that swelled through the village a moment ago had scared the populace. Harrison stood there for about 10 minutes until someone arrived. It was Nico. "Sir, 5 people in the vicinity fainted, 5 of them being civilians. The doctor said that they should make a speedy recovery. It's just the mental weight of what just happened was too much on their mind." "Is everyone else alright?" he asked. "So far we checked, yes sir," said Yujeo. "Can I ask, what was that?" she said. "I don't know," said Harrison. Harrison had felt the raw, killer intent from the tail beast, staring down at him, rage in his eyes. While this wasn't at its peak, it was far more dangerous. Back in the mindscape, Kurama watched as that thing in front of him went away. Slowly melt away. The sky above him fixed back into darkness. "Well, this is surprising," he said to himself, looking into the darkness of his cage. "It seems that kid is more than I thought he was." Back at Naruto's house, as Naruto sat on his bed, his eyes were closed. He had no idea what happened to him. Once again, those memories came back. He had no idea why this time. Yeah, he knew exactly why, but he was trying not to think about her. As he blocked it out once again, he did what he always did. He took all those memories and he locked it away in a small box in his mind. And they were gone. Yeah. However, his mood was still lousy. Maybe he did something that she did not like. Or maybe she just saw him as a friend and he was pushing it too much. Yeah, that must be it. After all, for his entire life he has been hearing people say that he's a monster, despite knowing what was going on right now. Maybe they were not too far off. He always wanted to get married to a beautiful woman and have 100 kids. Because if he had 100 kids, he would have so much people by his side. Friends, family, and not to mention his own children. And he would rather go to hell 100 times than ever abandon any one of them. However, once again he was alone. Later that day, Sakura stopped by as she gave him the form for the Chunin exams. She asked him if he was alright, and as usual he told that he was fine. However, she did not believe him one bit, knowing that he was hiding something once again. Time skip. Both Sakura and Sasuke was waiting. They're waiting for the last member of their team, Naruto that is. "You think he's gonna show up?" Sakura said, knowing that it was optional. "I don't think he's gonna miss this," Sasuke said. For once she was not swooning over him as usual. Through the couple of months, she had turned friends with Naruto. He was a pretty nice guy, not to mention he saved her life on a dozen occasions. Not to mention he was one that helped her start to train, as she was getting a bit, well, stronger by putting the work in, as she didn't want to rely on them anymore. While their team dynamic was kind of good, she didn't want to be the one that held them back. She wanted to be strong as well, and at the moment she was worried. "Despite how long we've been a team, he's never gonna let us in," said Sakura. Sasuke placed his hands in his pockets. "Why are you so worried about him?" he said. "Well, he's our teammate. I mean, I'll be worried about you as well if something happened." Sasuke looked away. Well, here he is. She looked up as she saw Naruto, who was wearing all black, which was rather strange. Usually he never wear all black. Was that a representation of his mood, she wondered herself. "Are you guys ready?" said Naruto. "Yeah, what about you?" "Yeah, I'm ready," said Naruto. "Come on, let's go." As they made their way in, Sakura kept on glancing towards him, wondering if he was okay. As they arrived towards the second floor, immediately the sight in front of Naruto shifted as he saw right through the Genjutsu. The fox had told him that because of his chakra coursing through him, certain things that should affect him would not affect him that much. The fox chakra was rather dense and corrosive, so if someone was trying to place a Genjutsu on him, it would be hard for their chakra to enter his system to sway his thoughts or his actions, and many more things. So Naruto saw right through it. However, Sasuke was cocky and arrogant as usual. After awakening his Sharingan, he felt untouchable. However, there was still one person that he couldn't beat. And for the life of him, he didn't know why. And he was not talking about the Jonins. He didn't care about them, he was talking about someone his own age, and that was Naruto. Cut the genjutsu, he said. You think this is fooling anyone? Naruto turned his head, ignoring everyone around here, as he just looked around. That was when he heard something as he turned to see a guy in a green spandex suit. It looked like the one that helped him all the way back then. As he blocked Sasuke and another guy kick, as he started to mouth off. He also speak like him as well, saying youthful this, youthful that. The guy then noticed him, before he rushed towards him, as he stopped in front of Naruto. May I presume that you are Naruto Uzumaki? Yeah? Why? Said Naruto. My sensei told me about you. He told me that you'd be a great rival for me to have. Would you like to spar? No, said Naruto, as he started to walk away. Well, that was harsh, said Tenten. Sorry about him, said Sakura. He's just not in a good mood, she said. Neji watched him. Guy has been talking about this individual known as Naruto Uzumaki, and he spoke about him with such high vigor and hopes, like he was someone special, but Neji did not see it one bit. The one that he was more interested about was Sasuke Uchiha, who was said to be a prodigy. As the prodigy of the Hyuga, he was gonna put that Uchiha in his place, to show once and for all that the Hyugas are better than the Uchihas. When they arrived towards the gymnasium, as inside was large. Hey! Naruto glanced up, seeing Lee. It is always wise to enter into a friendly competition of sparring. It can help re-energize your vigor and your youthfulness. So I challenge you, Naruto Uzumaki, to see which one of us flame burn brighter. My sensei speak highly of you, and as a student, I want to prove myself, he says. He jumped down. So, once again I challenge you to a spar. You're not gonna leave me alone, are you? Said Naruto. Accept my spar, and we can spar youthfully as possible, said Lee. What does that even mean? You know what? Fine, said Naruto. Why don't you come at me? This is a waste of time, said Sasuke. Don't be jealous because he's not trying to ask you to spar, said Naruto. Who the hell said I'm jealous, said Sasuke. Well, come on. You are a little bit, right? Are you ready? Said Lee. Yeah. Why don't you take your best shot? Said Naruto. Lee smirked at that. He will prove to his sensei that he is the greatest amongst their generation. As he rushed forward, as Naruto watched him. However, everything seemed to slow down. Time, perception, everything. As Naruto started to walk. Naruto was incredibly fast. When it came to these kids, he was on a different level. And once again, Lee fists as he was shocked. However, nothing was there. What? Lee looked around confused. Naruto tapped him on the shoulder. Lee jumped away, confused what just happened. How did you get behind me? He said. I ran pretty fast, said Naruto. That's impossible. I would have seen you. Sasuke clenched his fist once again, feeling outclassed. Amazing, said Sakura. Every time he did it, she couldn't understand how it's possible. How could someone be that fast? None of their eyes could track him one bit. Maybe Kakashi-sensei can, but they were not able to see when he moved that fast. He was just playing around. Maybe this was good for him, to bring a smile back to his face. Seeing more than he thought, Lee shot forward this time, as he increased his speed. This time Naruto motioned for him to come. Lee swing, a right hook, however Naruto blocked it. Lee lashed out as Naruto caught his hand. Right now Naruto had Lee in mid-air, as Naruto left him, before dropping him in the ground. Lee winced out in pain as his back made contact with the floor. It cracked under the pressure. Lee flipped up as he landed. It seems Sensei was right about you. You are indeed powerful for your age, he said. However, I will show you that my hard work can at least triumph over anything. Day and day, night and night, I push myself. You have no idea what you're talking about, said Naruto. What? Said Lee. Your training does not compare to mine. It doesn't matter what you did. Compared to what I did, your training is nothing but child's play. What? Said Lee. How dare you disregard my hard work that easily? Because, as I said, compared to what I did, you did nothing important, said Naruto. So stop thinking yourself to be this youthful person that just because you did hard work, that you're special. Because sometimes it doesn't really get you anywhere. I will not stand here and have you disregard my training like it was nothing, said Lee. I will show you what hard work can do. He rushed forward and jumped. Lee whirlwind, he said, as he spin a blowing kick towards Naruto. The kick made contact and slammed in the back of Naruto's neck. Naruto looked up towards Lee. Is that all you have? Lee was baffled as Naruto backhanded him. Lee slammed off the railing as he slammed into the wall. Naruto's sucker said, the guy was a bit quirky, but he didn't seem to be a bad guy. And Naruto knew that he is rather strong. He might have just killed him. He said he put in a lot of hard work. He should be able to get her from that, said Naruto as he started to walk away. Come on, we're gonna be late. Lee picked himself up as he clenched his fists. As he jumped down and shot forward, however, Naruto turned. Lee's entire body froze up. Lee was confused as he jumped away. What just happened, said Lee, as he couldn't understand what happened to him. His body just jumped away in contact. Why? Seems like your mind is smarter than your body, said Naruto. Hey guys, let's go, said Naruto. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. He came over towards Naruto. What was that, he said. Well, I would have hit him a bit harder, said Naruto. He realized that, and decided to back away. He's definitely Guy's student, said Naruto. Lee was still there, his hands shaking as he looked towards them. He couldn't understand. Lee! Where did you run off to? He's right there, said Neji. Lee? Lee, what's wrong? Lee clenched his fists. I don't know, he said. His body just jumped back on automatic. He didn't tell himself to move backward, yet he just did so. Why? He couldn't understand. Was he afraid? No, he wasn't. So why? Was that his instincts? Just who was Naruto Uzumaki, he thought to himself. The group arrived towards the door as they met up with Kakashi, who greeted them with a smile, happy to see that they were here. If one of them hadn't come, it turns out that none of them could have entered. Sasuke's sweat dropped at that. That means if Naruto had not shown up, none of them could enter. Sakura was glad that she at least hoped that Naruto would show. Or maybe she was a bit disappointed that he did, because she wasn't so sure that she was ready for this exam. She just started to take things seriously. She wasn't sure if she was ready, but Sasuke wanted to participate and Naruto seemed like he wanted to do as well. And if she held him back, she would be the failure of this group. And she didn't want to be the failure. Kakashi spoke to Naruto before he entered, asked him if he was alright. Why does everyone keep asking him that over and over again? I'm fine, said Naruto, as he walked away. Sakura was pulled aside by Kakashi. What's wrong, Sensei? I want you to do something for me. Huh? What is it? Keep an eye on Naruto, and tell me if he's doing anything strange. You want me to spy on him? In a sense, yes. Why? You noticed his mood lately, haven't you? Yeah, he's been acting rather strange. I told Sasuke about it, but, well, he doesn't see it that much. Figures, said Kakashi. So I'm gonna give you a special mission, okay? A moment later, Sakura came back in, as she was met with the glares of every single one in the class. The killer intent that they sent their way started to make her shiver until Naruto stepped in front of her like a protective shield, as he narrowed his eyes towards all of them there, unaffected by their killer intent, as that made some of them give up on that. However, what Naruto saw floored him, as he saw someone in the back that he never expected to see. Their eyes met. The whole entire place seemed to just vanish, leaving the two of them there alone. As he started to walk, "Where are you going?" said Sakura. He didn't answer as he walked over. Before he could reach though, a girl stepped in his way. It was Tsubaki. "What do you want?" she said. As Naruto ignored her. "I never thought you would be here," he said, looking towards Kurosaki. "Can I help you?" she said to him. Her eyes narrowed at him, as she looked towards her teammates. "Oh, you don't remember me," said Naruto. "That mission towards the land of swamp, where that guy attacked me." "Oh, it's him," said Tsubaki as she narrowed her eyes. "So what do you want?" she asked. "Oh, nothing. I was just trying to say hi. I never got to talk to you guys after you guys left." The few other stone ninjas looked towards him. He was one of their targets. "Well, I just came by to say hi," said Naruto. I guess I'll see you in the exams. She just looked away without answering him. Huh, what's up with him? Said Tsubaki. Acting like he know you or something. Yeah, these tree huggers act like they're just too friendly. Like we want to be their friends, said Kurosaki. As she was unaware about Naruto's enhanced hearing, he heard what she said. A part of him believed that she was doing this for her friends, because she didn't want them to know about their relationship. And yet a part of her believed that this was how she truly felt. And the pain hit him deep. As he just walked back towards his corner, seeming more depressed than before. As he just went and sat down, by himself. Kurosaki glanced towards him. And once again she felt it, but this time it was a lot worse. A strange pain in her chest that seemed to hit her rather hard. So she made a move, as she quickly started to write something without any of them noticing. Once her teammate was not focusing, she crumbled it up and launched it. As the paper hit Naruto and fell right in front of him, looking down towards it, he picked it up. Confused, he unraveled it. Do that thing that you did when you saved me. In the land of swamp, she wrote. As Naruto looked up, from K, it must be her. As a smile came on his face, he picked himself up. Before he prepared himself, he waited until her teammates were not looking her way, and the other stone ninjas before he shot off. Tsubaki felt a breeze rush past her. Confused by the sudden breeze that just came out of nowhere, she turned. Hey Kurosaki, did you... Wait, where did she go? Akisaki, where did Kurosaki go? He looked around. I have no idea, she said. Tsubaki then looked over as she noticed where the blonde had sat down a moment ago. He was gone. She raised an eyebrow. On the top of the building, Kurosaki opened her eyes as she was standing on top of the building. As she saw Naruto putting her down. Whoa, that's always so strange, she said. As Naruto smiled at her. Sorry I almost blew your cover back then. She placed a finger to his lip. Wait, let me say something first. I like you, she said to him. A small blush in her cheek. Naruto was surprised. I like you too, he said. No, I really like you, she said. Like I actually think about being with you. Even though we're young. I don't know what the hell it is, but there's something about you that you're just so idiotic. Well, that's not really a compliment, said Naruto. Yes, but it makes you just all that much better, you damn fool, she said. As she released a breath. Look, I like you. I know you have a thing for me as well, but as much as we like each other, this has to come to an end. Why? Said Naruto. It can never work, she said. I don't understand. Why can't it? Wake up, Naruto, she said. You're from the Hidden Leaf, I'm from the Hidden Stone. Through the dawn of time, since the nations have been formed, we have never been allies or friends. It would never work. We can never be together. If my grandfather or father ever found out that, well, you did this, that we talk like this, that I am thinking about ever going to be with someone like you, I'm sure that I would be either exiled or executed beyond my grandfather or father wishes. The people at my village had a real grudge against Konoha. Some of them still do, but some of them has forgotten. But to think that I would be with someone like you from the Hidden Leaf, well, I would be in a whole lot of trouble. And besides, your village would also shun you as well, given the history between us, so we can't work. But we can still be... No, she said. Look, I know that this is painful because I've never been one to confess my feelings or act girly. However, I don't know what it is, but you bring something out in me that I can't explain. So much so that I just wanna... You know what, screw it. She moved forward and kissed him right on the lips. Naruto was taken aback until the sensation flooded him as he wrapped his arms around her and laid a passionate kiss on her lips. It seemed to be going on for hours, but in truth it was just seconds until she pushed away from him. Think of that as a goodbye kiss. No, we can't just end things like this, but we have to. It's for the good of the both of us. Screw the villages, said Naruto. You like me and I like you as well. You know I can't do that. As I told you, my grandfather is Tishikage. I have dreamt about being Tishikage for my entire life. I want to be a leader that my people can look up to. And being with someone from my enemy nation is not good looking up to material. So we're done. Like this whole thing. Don't come back, because if you do, I'll tell them that you're there, and I'll get you in trouble. You wouldn't do that. I would, she said. I'll keep my village protected. So don't you ever come back, she said. Tears were leaking from her eyes as she spoke. You hear me? Don't you come back. As Naruto started to cry. As she started to walk away. Wait, I said no, she said to him. This can't happen. You don't know me, and I don't know you. So, we're done, she said, as she wiped her tears away, before she jumped off the roof. Naruto sat down where he was, as he just sat there. In the mindscape, Kurama was privy to all of that, and he actually felt sorry for the kid. Yes, he actually felt sorry for the kid. When you think about it, it was really bad. The kid basically grew up an orphan without anyone to ever tell him that they love him or want to be there for him. And Kurama could feel it. That stupid emotion that humans love so much. Stupid, idiotic love. This kid had it bad for that girl. And now she had to go and rip out his heart like that. She just ripped him apart like nothing. The kid must be truly devastated. And Kurama felt bad for him. However, what was he supposed to do? It was then it happened again. This time, Kurama noticed the place started to crack. The flowing water turned like sludge on the ground. Kurama narrowed his eyes from beyond his seal. In the span of a single second, the thing that was forming when he had faced the Shikaku container was pulled together in an instant. That thing now stood there. Who are you? Said Kurama. Kurama could not see the individual face. When it turned though, what Kurama saw baffled him. It had no face. Its face was a line of black. Many squibbly lines just messed together, showing something blank and empty. Its body was almost see-through. It had a humanoid feature. The thing looked towards the bars. Before it vanished and appeared in front of it, Kurama actually stepped back. The thing actually startled him a bit. Him, the mightiest Biju. The thing reached up, trying to push his hand through the bars. However, there was an electric shock as it pulled his hand back. That was when something came from the left. Chains. Golden chains shot out of darkness, trying to skewer the thing. However, it jumped away and flipped, before it rushed away into the black abyss into the side. Kurama narrowed his eyes toward the chains. Wait, these belong to... They were sucked back into the darkness. And then the place went quiet. What the hell was that? Said Kurama. As for Naruto, he stepped back inside, as he saw Kurosaki talking to her team. He wasn't overhearing well what she was saying. As he just walked in, Naruto said, Sakura, where have you been? As Naruto noticed the other rookies there. I am... Poof. Alright, you maggots. Be quiet, it's time for the first exam. As Naruto spaced out, Gaara narrowed his eyes towards the one they call Naruto. Tsubaki got placed directly beside Naruto. She clenched her fists. She didn't know who this guy was. Kurosaki lied about going to the bathroom a moment ago. However, that guy was missing as well. Maybe she did go to the bathroom. However, something was going on that Tsubaki was noticing. This guy was seeming to go through some turmoil. Was something happening between the two of them? No, that was impossible. Kurosaki was the granddaughter of Tishikage. She would never dream of being friends with that Konoha leaf hugger. Never. Tsubaki didn't remember something. How far would you go for love? If you truly love someone, would you become a traitor? She remembered those words like it was yesterday. She glanced towards Kurosaki, who was glancing towards the location, but she was not looking at her. She looked away when she saw her though. She was looking at this blonde. Tsubaki narrowed her gaze. No. You wouldn't, she said. No, she wouldn't. As for Naruto, he did something that he knew he should not do. Mixing emotions with others was not something nice. Maybe he just didn't care anymore. So he took all that emotion that he was feeling right now and just pushed it down in that box and locked it tight. As he focused on the test at the moment, the first test was rather easy, as Naruto did not know any of the answers though. But it was rather simple, not give up. At the end of it though, Ibiki informed them that the test was to see if they could stick it out, despite knowing there was a chance of them not taking the test ever again. As Naruto just did not feel that much into it to actually give up or stay in it, so he just remained neutral. However, he locked those feelings away. Suddenly someone burst the window. It was a girl, in a mesh with a coat over it, and a short skirt. Alright, she said with a smirk on her face. Now it's my turn. Follow me, kiddies, to the Forest of Death. As Naruto lighted up hearing that. Forest of Death, he said. Haven't been there in a while. Sakura was beside him. You've been there before. Yeah. Pretty scary place, said Naruto. But I got used to it. So I know my way around, said Naruto. It's gonna be fun. Sakura and Sasuke was taken aback at Naruto's new behavior. He switched so easily. As Sakura wondered if this was good or bad. However, she remembered what Kakashi said, so she would keep an eye on Naruto. So with that, they made their way towards the Forest of Death. Naruto's attitude had just shifted so easily. That confused the both of them. Even Sasuke was a bit intrigued by that just sudden shift. He was acting all mopey and now he was so happy. Kurosaki seemed to be down as well. Tsubaki noticed that even more. As she decided to do some investigating, she had to know. She had to know for her sake as well. Because it was things that Kurosaki didn't know about Tsubaki, that she never told anyone. However, there couldn't be something going on between these two. A Konoha ninja and a stone ninja. That was not possible. Not to mention the granddaughter of the Tishikage himself. No, that just wasn't possible. Anko told them what they had to do. She presented two scrolls, Heaven and Earth. So with that, Team 7 got the Heaven Scroll, as they all lined up at the gates. Alright. As the bell went off, get moving! The members all rushed into the forest. As Anko watched them all scurrying away like small little mice, about to get devoured by her snakes. She chuckled to herself, finding that thought rather funny despite how rather dark it was. About 15 minutes later. Where is everyone? You sure you know your way around here, Sasuke said. Of course, said Naruto. I've been here tons of time. I know where the tower is, but we still have to get the Earth Scroll. Why don't you guys stay here and I'll go and get one? Just don't move, I'll be right back, okay? Before they could say anything, he rushed off. Sasuke sighed, as Sakura shook her head. That was the usual, like him to just rush into anything like that, without waiting for them. Should we just stay here? Said Sakura. Might as well. Although he could find us if we wander off. Sasuke pulled a kunai, preparing himself just in case. Knowing that Naruto was not around, it was his time to shine, to show that he was still Uchiha elite. It was at that moment Choba came by. My oh my, what do we have here? Back with Naruto, as he rushed to the Forest of Death, looking for the closest team to find. As he was looking for one of those teams, when he came to a stop as he saw a Rain team being decimated by the Sand team. Naruto saw Team 8 hiding watching the scene as he walked over. Oh hey guys. Kiba had to cover Hinata mouth before she screamed. Her Byakugan was not activated and Naruto snuck up right behind her. Chino looked towards him. What are you doing here? He said. Just wandering around. Without your team? Chino said. Yeah, I'm just looking for a scroll, said Naruto. What's going on? As he saw the sight through the trees. Whoa. That guy is brutal, said Naruto. You guys should get out of here before he finds and kill you guys. I think Naruto-san is right, Shino said. It is illogical to stay here. Under these circumstances, we would be killed in an instant by that monster, he said. As Shino watched a guy squeeze another to death. Hinata noticed Naruto flinched at the word monster a bit, as she wondered what was up with that. However, she was a bit flustered as her crush was so close. Yeah, let's get going, Sekiba. Hey, you coming? Despite not being on the same team, they were still Konoha ninjas. Nah, you guys go ahead. I'm gonna be heading off in a few seconds, said Naruto. Kiba narrowed his eyes. He was still curious about Naruto, but they had to focus on getting their scrolls. Be careful, Naruto-kun, said Hinata. Yeah, thanks, said Naruto. I will be. As Naruto sat there and watched, he noticed Temari going for the scroll, as he remembered her name. However, he rushed out. Zoop! Something fly past Temari, shocking her as she was hit by a strange breeze. What the hell? What just happened? Said Kankuro. I don't know. Naruto was making his way back towards Team 7 as he decided to come to a stop. As he held onto the scroll in his hand, he closed his eyes as he focused. As he heard a team nearby, he could hear them, and he heard their voice. He quickly snapped out of that as he focused on where he was. He decided to take the long way around. As he decided to walk a bit, clearing his mind. He should really get back though. As he made his way back, he felt something strange. Upon further investigation, he noticed the trees burnt and destroyed. What the hell? That is when he heard a scream. As he saw Sasuke collapse on the ground, a guy retracting his head. Naruto rushed over as he landed right in front of Sasuke, who was on the ground in pain. Sasuke, what's going on? What happened? Said Naruto. As Sakura was shaking in fear, a few cuts and bruises on her. What happened? Said Naruto, surprised that this happened in a short amount of time he was gone. As he tucked away the earth scroll, he was just about to show them but this. My oh my. It seems you left your teammates to fend for themselves and now they got themselves into something more bigger than they could handle. Naruto turned. Who the hell are you? You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna make you pay for what you did. Child, do you really think that you can? Orochimaru was confused. One moment he was talking, the next moment his head was being violently pushed into the earth. He was hit off the high tree and his head was now being crushed into the soil. The amount of force that was pressured on his skull, he started to feel his head going splat like it was about to be squashed. He had no other choice. He opened his mouth as another Orochimaru slipped through, as Naruto crushed the head under his palm. Orochimaru backed away, shock on his face. What did you just do? He was too confused and baffled to think straight. How can this child reach him in such a short amount of time? Naruto walked over toward a giant tree before he gripped it by the base and tore it out of the ground. Orochimaru's eyes went wide in shock as Naruto brought it down, destroying the entire place as he swung it. Orochimaru jumped away, not expecting the tree to move so fast. The thing slammed right into him, throwing him. He crashed to another tree. As Naruto then held the thing like a javelin as he threw it. Orochimaru ducked as the thing tore through the top area where he was. He turned to get out of there, however, his ankle was grabbed. Naruto lifted him up and slammed him face first before slamming him and slamming him and slamming him. He then threw him up in mid-air as he then punched. A violent sonic wave came from the punch. Trees were flattened. The place quivered. Blood exploded from the snakes on his mouth. Naruto flashed above him and clasped his hands together before he raised it. He then dropped it in Orochimaru's spine. A cracking sound could be heard. The snake Sonic cried out in agonizing pain as his entire pelvis and his spine was shattered. His body hit the ground in a boom. As Naruto dropped about to squash his head, however he released a new body on the ground. Naruto placed his head down to the ground as he heard. He raised his fist as he dropped it. Orochimaru exploded out of the earth. as he crushed the side. He backed away in fear. Fear was in his eyes. What are you? He said. Your worst nightmare, said Naruto. Going after me is one thing, but my team, you hurt them. And I'm gonna make you pay. Orochimaru flashed through hand sign fire style. Fireball jutsu. He spewed fire from his mouth, wind style. Gale palm. Naruto took in a breath as he blew and blew the fire out. Orochimaru bit his finger and went through hand sign. Summoning jutsu. Poof. A snake appeared. He was gonna get the hell out of here. The snake opened its mouth as Naruto stepped through the smoke. Orochimaru crawled in as he went through hand sign. Using the reverse summoning seal. He had to be in a snake to do this. As he brought his hand down, however, the snake cried out in pain as Naruto tore through its lower half. Poof! All of them were gone. Back to where Sakura was. Sakura was panicking. She knew that Naruto could handle himself, but she had to get Sasuke somewhere safe. He passed out, and they would be killed out here. She picked him up as she moved off to somewhere safe. She glanced behind her. Be careful, she said. Even though she knew that Naruto was tough, whoever that guy was, he was dangerous. At Ryuka Cave, the top half of the snake emerged. In a poof of smoke, the snake was dead, having its bottom half torn open, as Naruto had fly right through it. Orochimaru rushed out of the snake's mouth. He turned and opened his mouth as a white snake emerged and spewed purple smoke as Naruto stepped right through it. Orochimaru rushed up against the wall, picking himself up. How? There was no way that this person could reach him in time to enter the summoning seal. No. As Naruto looked around, where am I? He blew, as he blew away all the purple gas. However, he already inhaled some of it. Why do I feel so woozy? Said Naruto as he looked around. Confused what was going on, he blinked a few times as he rubbed his eyes. Hey! What did you do to me? How are you still standing? Orochimaru said. You think you can stop me? Said Naruto as he started to walk forward. Hundreds, thousands of snakes gathered as they saw Naruto step on the head of one of their brethren. Smelling, they knew that he was not from this land. Orochimaru saw that as Naruto moved forward and threw his fists. The snakes saw him slip away as Naruto cracked the earth where he was, destroying a large platform of the snakes. Orochimaru used the opportunity to flee the hell out of there, baffled by this turn of events. As Naruto felt woozy, something bit him in the throat. However, it could not pierce his skin. He grabbed the snake and ripped it apart. He doesn't belong here. Killing our kind. Devour him, one of them said. Thousands of snakes rushed in as Naruto fell to his knees. Not because of them, but because of the weird sensation that he was feeling. As he felt so dizzy, as he collapsed face first, the snakes pounced on him as they tried to rip him apart. However, they could not pierce his skin. One of the larger ones picked him up by his tail and started to squeeze, trying to pop Naruto's head, but he could not. He slammed Naruto into the ground. As Naruto was unconscious, inside the seal, Kurama could feel a poison slowly being burned out of Naruto. This poison would have killed a shinobi in the span of a couple of seconds, as Naruto had inhaled so much. If a normal shinobi had done that, the poison would have killed him. This was no normal poison. It was from a special blade known as the Kurosaki blade. The poison was deadly and corrosive. However, Naruto's body was fighting it off. However, something happened. That strange thing emerged once again. The thing without a face. It started to laugh. Chains emerged from the darkness once again, trying to subdue it. But this time, it simply waved a hand. The chains crumbled and turned rust before they collapsed. They were forced to retreat back into the darkness. The thing then plunged its hand into the water, turning the thing red. It then submerged itself. Kurama felt an unnatural force swell inside the kid. What the hell is going on? Kurama didn't know what would happen. However, if the kid did not wake up, something very terrible would happen, he believed. But a few seconds, at least 40 seconds, that was how long it would take for the poison to be burned out of his body completely. Until then, back in the real world, the snake looked down towards Naruto, still wrapped up as he tried to bite him. He won't die. What is this, human? As the snake raised Naruto once again and plunged his head into the earth, trying to split his skull. However, this time, once the smoke had gathered, something shot out of it. The snake head was torn off its lower half. As Naruto landed, he slowly turned around towards the individuals there. His eyes, though, his warm blue, loving eyes were no longer the same. They were red. Unlike the fox, they were just completely red. He smiled, a strange devilish smile. As he looked toward his hands, I haven't felt this good in a very, very long while. Now where am I? Whoa, there's so much snakes. As he started to grin even more. I wonder how long will I stay like this? Well, it doesn't matter. I only need a few seconds. So, who's ready to party, he asks. The grin split in even wider on his face. The snakes slithered towards him, ready to tear him apart. Despite their failed attempt so far, Naruto's grin increased as he rushed forward. Meanwhile, not too far away outside of the Snake Valley, Raiko Cave was located in a strange, desolate area. Orochimaru had taken the other way out, so he did not see, in the forest, someone was lying there unconscious. It was the same woman that was in a strange location and was saved by her friend. She was unconscious on the ground, cuts and bruises over her body. A small trickle of blood coming from her forehead. Her eyes were closed, as she was just lying there. But guys, be and subscribe right here for something important. Do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace, guys.